I asked Drake where he had gone. Pointing towards the forest, Drake said he was at his home. I inquired about his problem. Drake mentioned that problems persist. He shared that his father was also a witch doctor. After his father's death, the responsibility fell on his shoulders. He had a dispute with the new chief, which led him to leave the tribe. Now, the new chief wants to find and punish him. Drake wanted tea, but when we prepared it without milk, Drake asked why we weren't adding milk. I replied that it's hard to find milk in the forest. He said to wait and ran into the forest. Drake returned, carrying a doe. I milked the doe and told Drake to release her. Drake asked why I didn't want to eat the meat. I explained that while I do eat meat, I believe the doe's baby needed her milk, and if we slaughtered her, the baby would starve. Our goal was achieved since we got the milk. Drake released the doe and said that my compassion impressed him, a rare quality. Drake then shared various stories about his tribe, some of which were frightening. He mentioned that when his father passed away, his flesh was distributed among the tribe members. Shocked, I asked if he had eaten his father's flesh. Drake confirmed, saying the chief instructed him to eat a piece to inherit his father's powers. I asked if his tribe was cannibalistic. Drake said they occasionally consume human flesh, but do not hunt humans, as there is no shortage of food. In our conversation, I told Drake I considered him my teacher. Drake looked at me intently and asked if I knew English. I confirmed and asked if he did too. Drake replied that he knew many languages and spoke English better than his native language. We then continued our conversation in English. When I expressed my desire to learn from him, Drake assured me that he would come to me whenever I needed him, so I shouldn't worry. Surprised, I asked how he would know when I needed him. Drake said to leave that to him, as he gets the information he needs and is more than just a witch doctor. Drake asked if I had found all the herbs I needed. I replied that I hadn't found them all and would search again the next day. Drake reassured me, saying he would accompany me in the morning and help find all the herbs. The next morning, Drake stayed awake while my servant and I rested. We set off into the forest with Drake leading the way. At one point he stopped and uprooted a yellow herb. Examining it closely, I asked about its use. Drake explained it was a rare herb used for male weakness and difficult to find. He detailed how to use it, and I stored it in my bag as we continued. Drake introduced me to several new herbs. As we were about to leave the forest, Drake stopped and said I was now safe to return to the city. I asked if he could come with me, but Drake said it wasn't possible at the moment due to some responsibilities in the forest that he couldn't explain yet, but would one day. With that, Drake disappeared. My servant and I looked around in amazement, but I felt reassured, knowing Drake would meet me again as he promised to be there whenever I needed him. Realizing Drake's supernatural powers, I took a deep breath and started my journey back with my servant.